So let's try this out, yeah? Quite opposite to Bill O'Reilly's "we'll do it live," we'll do it in post commentary. That's 2019 is the way to go. For this game, I picked Athena, and as some of you might know, I don't personally like Athena. That's not to say that she's not any good. She's very good. It's just she has it too good for no reason. And I still sees people mucking it up. I don't understand it. They try to go up on somebody and full combo. 3 and then 2. No. What? That's minimal damage, especially late game, and everybody else on the team is just going, please, just taunt. Just for the love of God, just taunt. I'll kill them myself, just taunt. Please. In the time it takes you to press your 3 and then your taunt, the enemy has walked away, or you've been crowd controlled, or they've dashed away, or something, and you end up missing. The 2 is infinitesimally valued, yes, way more valuable than the 3. Where I'm currently located, my friend, I like to refer to as Death Alley, and to me personally, I feel like the first support to get into Death Alley gets to have higher positioning within the lane, meaning that we hit the minions first. It's simple mathematics in theory, yes? First ones to start clearing are the first ones to stop clearing, meaning they're the first ones to be able to go get a buff camp, be the first ones to be able to attack, whatever it is that you like. It also helps as well if you happen to have really good clear. It makes your clear even better. If you have really bad clear, it kind of supplements the fact that it's doo-doo. After I threw my 3 into the melee minions, I started blocking Chernobog's auto attacks. In the early game, hunters don't have the best clearing abilities. They supplement it with their auto attacks, but their auto attacks are really slow early. So every missed auto attack, every blocked auto attack is just more time, more pressure that I'm buying for myself. Too many support players are afraid of taking damage. Like, why do you think you have so much health? You're supposed to take all that damage. What, do you think it's just very easy to die, so we're gonna give them more health? You have all these protections. What, you're just gonna sit back and stay safer from a distance? And then we'll top it all off with a shell, and then with the magic of post-editing, we'll see what exactly went wrong here. Melee minions are the ones being focused here. Yes, we've established that. As I reposition to get in front of Chernobog, I use a health potion. Strange timing, no? Does not even missing 100 health yet. A health potion gives you 250 health over 25 seconds, meaning you are healing for 10 HP every second. You can't heal for more than your max health, but if you're taking damage, that's not going to be an issue. So I'm looking to get in front of Chernobog, and Chernobog uses the 2. Massive mistake, because the clear is not bad if no one's standing in front of you. Increased auto attack speed doesn't matter because I'm gonna tank them all to the face. I took it to the face, my melee minions didn't. Now they are harassing King Arthur. He already gave up his shell, we kept the momentum going, and second time around he ends up tanking a full wave of creeps and he dies for it. And I think we know each other enough to have this discussion. Be honest with me, do you play with it? Yeah, we're all adults here for the most part. Do you play with it? Do you play with your health, that is? When people first start playing support, they don't know how much they can bargain with, how much health they can trade out. They take full waves, they go into towers, they get themselves killed left and right as they're getting acclimated to the protections, getting a feel for how much it is they can take. And then, once they finally start getting a sense of it, this fear comes in to protect every last bit of it. They don't stand in front of waves anymore. They don't think about tanking objectives, let alone tanking shots for you. It's not until they start to see, once again, like I said, that your damage is their damage, your health is the team health. Sounds like a bit more communist propaganda to me, Frost. If you think so, I think you're a bit off the marks with that one, but you know how the saying goes, when life gives you lemons. Anyhow, you know it. I'm just stalling at this point. I'm sure by now I've made it to a list, and not a Netflix one. So I reiterate, do you play with it? Maybe that's what you're missing. Maybe you have yet not discovered English like I have. My goodness, that sentence was awful. You have not discovered yet, that's the one, how to play around with your health. And no, I'm not cutting that out unless the sound is horrible or I jumble it up immensely. This is me time. This is my rambling. This is therapeutic for me. They say I'm the weird one for talking to myself, but it's the only way to get intelligent conversation around here. Maybe it's the voices and the changes in accent. I could understand why that might catch an ear. In biblical times, I probably would have been stoned. At the very least, an exorcism would be in order. And what pathetic little demons they would pull out of me. This one changes your tone and your accent. This one changes your inflections all the time. And this one keeps you in bed a little longer than you should be. Okay, I'll give you the other 2, but can I keep that last one? Oh yeah, and there's gameplay. Cooldown boost, Athena, taunt, great ability. Ultimate, great ability as well. You want those up as soon as possible, as often as you can have them. So, therefore, cooldown. I'm not leaving Scotty just yet. First off, she asked me not to, and it's because we both understand that it is better to get her, in this situation Scotty, to level 5 before I start roaming. By staying with her, we can maintain the pressure that we already have. She can get to level 5, so she can easily fight off anybody. I can get to level 5. If she bites off more than she can chew, I can just ult to her. So, I placed out the wards for my ADC. I spotted out a cheeky jungler trying to get a gank, so it's a good thing that I was here. And now, the part that gets many people in trouble, including me. Trying to force a play. We've gone too far to not get something from this. It's my gambling monkey brain losing and going double or nothing. Instead of me just backing off when Apollo did or when Scotty did, I ended up dying because I kept trying to push it. It's the sunken cost fallacy. Let's say you pre-ordered a video game and it's just no good, horrendous after the first hour. So you go another hour. Maybe it's gonna get better, right? Oh, now you've put in 2 hours. You got maybe 1 more hour. It's not so bad. You know what? Just gonna keep playing it. Gonna beat this game. I've already spent my money on it. I might as well. You started watching a TV show and halfway through you're just really not feeling the vibes anymore. But you've gotten this far. You might as well finish off the season now. If I'd backed off from the fight, I would have not died. If you had stopped playing that video game, you could have spent the time playing maybe a game you actually enjoyed. Maybe you could have been starting a new show, but you kept finishing off that season because you've committed so much to it. I've suffered this much, I might as well make up for it by suffering more. But I digressively, digressions. Back to the gameplay. Around this point in the game, I'm sitting in the mid lane, looking to secure the mid harpies, looking to fight for some buff camps. When I notice that my Scotty is half bit of health, and Chernobog's level 5. A very common thing for Chernobog is to ult into the ADC just to get back to dual lane faster. It's, yeah, okay, I'll admit, we're kind of lazy. We have this somewhat global ultimate that lets us get to anywhere we want. It's a team fighting ultimate. We arrive with a speed boost, damage mitigations, and a team slow. But we're gonna use it now because we don't want to walk back. Interesting. Very interesting. As Athena, I think supports get kind of lazy when it comes to predicting where a fight's going to break out, and it shows when they play any character that's not Athena, because she can just ult to the fight. Rarely do I see them coming out of the jungle, I mostly see them coming out of somebody else. Apollo's calling for a gank, I decide to dive in. If I survive, I can base and ult back. If I die, I can ult back. I do play a bit reckless with Athena, admittedly. I find her play style to offer itself to be a bit stale, and you have to go out of your way to kind of spice it up. Because if you're not diving people, if you're not rotating heavily around the map, it turns into a very stale, okay, wait for the Athena taunt. The enemy isn't going to do anything until your taunt is down. Your team's not going to do anything until your taunt is up. All that encompasses why Athena is so strong. Very strong crowd control. If you die, you're back in the fight if the fight goes on too long. It minimizes the cost of having to leave a fight. Let's say you're Geb. If you die or you're forced out, those are shields that you can't use anymore. Those are knockups you can't have. That's an ultimate that's not gonna be used. Athenas can just run in, dump everything, leave, come back, and have more of it. They essentially have just a little less than double your resources, and they're good resources to begin with. Now for warding, as you see here, I'm letting Scotty place hers first. She has a harder time placing her wards, so whenever she has the luxury to get one where she wants it, is one that we're gonna take. If I'd placed mine first, Scotty now has redundant wards. She's not gonna be the one to go in deeper to place her wards. My support wards enhance her existing wards, and with the oracles, we've essentially made a wall of vision that the enemy cannot go around unless they go through their lane or underneath ours. And once again, we have arrived in the mid lane looking to fight around the mid camps, looking to steal other kinds of buff camps. This is routine, really. It's not that complicated. If you really wanted to, you wouldn't have to do anything, especially not after that lead that you get in the duo lane, because if the game keeps unfolding in the way that it is now. If nothing changes and you just keep going the way you're going, you win eventually, you know? It would be up to the other team to take the lead back. So in order to stop them from taking the lead back, we have to make the lead bigger. That's why we look for kills. I knew Chernobog was on our side of the map, and for some reason, I don't know why, when Apollo called for a gank, I went to the King Arthur knowing that the Chernobog is who he meant, knowing that the Chernobog was the one coming through into the mid lane, but for some reason I went on the King Arthur and got myself killed. It also doesn't help that I have this really bad habit that when I'm with an aggressive jungler, and this is world champion Sino, if I have an aggressive jungler on my side, if they say gank, I'll just, okay, first thing I see, just gank it. This minion, this tower, this, what do you want? High expectations or something or other get me killed like that. It's just like, yes, you're Sino, you're gonna destroy everybody, I'm coming. Thankfully, even though I died, 2 of them died. That's a worthwhile trade every time. But it could have been a 0 for 2 instead of a 1 for 2. And another key point for Athena, don't use your ultimate for things that you can walk or dash to. You get into this bad habit of just strolling about wherever you want, knowing you have that ultimate to rely on to get you into better positioning. Yeah, tell me, do you have a good Athena? Yeah, good, strong Athena. Yeah, always getting to the fights, always providing the taunts. Yeah, how's about the rest of your supports? Are those good? No, not as good as your Athena, huh? She's a crutch character, an entry character. All competitive games have them. Characters, weapons, items that do a lot. They make up for somebody's lack of skill in a certain department for when they first pick up a game. Makes it more of an even kind of playing field. Now that's not the end-all be-all. Don't feel bad for yourself because it does take a lot to master the character. However, the problem lies when a person takes a character and goes, why bother mastering them when I can just put in the bare minimum and still do pretty well. So it's not that I don't like Athena, it's I don't like people who play her. Because odds are, your Athena is not much different from anybody else's. Look at the character's kit, that combo is practically screaming out at you, 1, 2, 3, please. Except some people look at the 3 and go, oh, I should maximize the amount of time that they are in the 3, because it's, 2 hits, so 3 and then 2. And watch as they run away from you because it takes forever to get that 3 down and then the 2. Sometimes less is more. Now if I do pick Athena, it's usually because someone else on my team happens to be rather mobile. Because I like that at this point in the game, we can start spreading out the pressure. That's what having the ability to be all over the map does for you. What can I offend? What can I offend? What? Who can I offend? Yes. A traveling circus of derogatory terms. What can I defend before I go attacking elsewhere? Make sure everything is nice and clean before you set off with your friends to go play with the enemy solo laner. And I can't believe I missed this point blank taunt. It's taking everything in me, my very being, every fiber I have left of me, to not edit through this part. For a very long time I couldn't face my own mistakes. I could not bear to see the sight of them. I just ignored them. Like I knew they happened, but I didn't want to look at how bad it was. Just in my mind I'd go, yeah, I'll do better, I suppose. But no, you have to stare down the very specifics of it. Your mother bugs you to take out the trash, you tell her, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. But it's not until the trash time has gone that you get to reflect and realize that you did a big oopsie. And you come home from school and you forgot to take out the trash the night before. You didn't take it out in the morning either. Oh, you're gonna get it now. Ahí viene la chancla. But again, a bit of recklessness never hurt anybody because honestly, this is our game to throw. So far, I've been able to make up for what I would normally use taking the long walk of shame, except I'm Athena and I can just get there flying first class. And lucky for me again, when I arrive, it's usually on the back end of a fight, meaning I get to stay healthy and look around for farm. It's very dangerous playing global characters if you are just going to fights and you're coming out really low so you're having to base or you're dying in the fights, you're gonna end up losing a lot of farm. For those of you wondering why when I landed I was spinning around intently, I would love to tell you that that is all about map awareness, that with the fervor and the passion of scouting around, as soon as I ulted, that's what led me to spinning around so much. But really, I accidentally pressed the mouse sensitivity button on my mouse. So whenever I tried to move slightly to the right, I was just doing full 360s. You're probably freaking out for a second there, expecting me to say something like this is peak Athena gameplay. After landing from your ultimate, you spin around 3 times, gather all your awareness together, all your wits about you. You spin around insanely and it creates this vortex that sucks in all the information straight to your brain. 1 second, that's all you need. And then it stops. Another second for processing. You have all this information now. No more emotions, no feeling. You know what the enemy is going to do. You know what you have to do. You have become one. You've downloaded yourself into the system. You have reached nirvana. Nope, just touched the wrong mouse button again. If only it was that easy. And once again, I'm dying near the front end of a fight and respawning just in time to get there to the back end. Honestly, I couldn't have gotten luckier this game if I tried. I do say lucky, but then again, Merlin missed his thingy that could have saved me, and I wouldn't have died to begin with, but that really doesn't matter. What matters is that right about now, we've got a decent enough lead, and we should really be pushing it all over the map, taking the rest of these tier 1 towers, some of these tier 2s, looking for pyros, looking to get that gold that we pretty much haven't touched all game. The enemy team's not doing so well, and to make sure that they don't get a footing, we have to keep pushing them down. Now we can take a minute or two, or the rest of the video, to talk about the build a little bit. We already talked about the Shoes of Focus. If a character is more utility based, you want their cooldowns to be low, you want cooldown reductions, ergo Shoes of Focus. A character like Athena, a character like Kumbhakarn will get more out of having their abilities up all the time, as opposed to a character like Bacchus who just wants to bop you. He'd be wearing the purple power booties, same as Ares. Travelers is more so for mana hungry characters. That mana regeneration is quite nice, and getting immobile characters around, think more like Sylvanas. Tank boots, not good against bursty compositions because they get better for you the more that you hit, and their composition would have to hit me a lot. Tank boots here would not have been a bad choice. That's kind of how you pick out shoes for supports. First you take out the ones that you don't need, that being the power ones, that being the traveler shoes. She doesn't need the power, she doesn't need the mobility. And then from what's left you decide which one suits your situation a lot better. Honestly, now that I'm seeing it for the second time, I'm really thinking tank boots would have been nicer here. Gauntlet of Thebes, very strong item for all supports. If you don't understand why, you don't understand effective health, we'll have to talk about that, I suppose. Or you play with low level players, in that case never get Gauntlet of Thebes, you will never get the stacks. Just go into Sovereignty straight away. After Thebes here, I'm going Sovereignty. That's going to give me more physical defense. If you look at their team, they have 4 physicals. They don't have a lot of heals. I mean, they do, but not enough to warrant me rushing anti-heal just yet. I go a Relic Dagger after the Sovereignty, rather strong just because of the added health, increasing my effective health. And then it's also got the cooldown reductions, the movement speed, and also the passive that lets me blink and shell more often. Thoth hasn't really been that much of an issue, so I get away with building the Relic Dagger before any meaningful magical defense. And I get 2 birds with 1 stone, no pun intended, by going Pestilence. I get the magical protections, I get the anti-heal aura. The game ends before I can sell my Guardian's Blessing, but I could have gone anything really. I could have gone a Magi's, a Spirit Robe, a Mantle of Discord, Pridawans, not bad either. Ethereal Staff if I'm feeling a bit cheeky, but she doesn't throw enough abilities out to really warrant it. A few more words before I do part, because I do intend to skip a bit of the stuff that happened because nothing happened. So it was rather uneventful. Athena, great global pressure, late game, mid-late game, just stick with your team. If you don't have your ultimate, stick with your team if you're looking to push an objective down. If you do have your ultimate, feel free to go out, grab some farm from somewhere, knowing that you can ult back into a fight. I've seen many supports fall behind late game because they can't keep up with their team. That is speed farming. I've also been that support that falls behind because my team is speed farming. And that's pretty much it. Like, Athena is very basic, man. You dash, you taunt, you dash, you taunt. Blink, taunt. Maybe there's rarely a time where you initiating is a bad idea. Just make sure your team's nearby when you do so they can follow up on the taunt, or you know, you're not going to get any damage out. You might not even get beads out. If you run at the team and you taunt them and they know nothing's going to happen to them, they're not going to pop beads. They're just going to laugh at you and probably kill you. Overall, she's a very strong character, very straightforward, very easy to pick up. Anybody can grab her, but it does take a bit to master her. Unfortunately, why would you want to when you can just dash taunt, dash taunt, dash taunt? Get out there and become the god you were meant to be. I'm going to bed.